Hey guys. Got enough headspace there.
All right, y'all know the drill. Just raise your hand. We'll fire away. Jeremiah starts off.
What's going on, Spencer? Martin Hampton, after Saturday's game, gave you all a lot of credit for some of the holes you were able to create for him on the line, and that's why he was able to get the yards that he got. But this season, both week one and week two, what's allowed for some of that success, for those running backs to create holes at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I think it's really just a change in mindset. I'm sure you've heard the phrase before, run the damn ball. We have it on t-shirts, we have it on hats. And I think just that mindset of we're going to be a running physical team kind of changed the narrative of Carolina run football. And I think just that mindset and the game planning, coaches do a great job of making sure we have run plays that we can be successful in. And I think a combination of that, our mindset, and just having great backs in our backfield with Amarian Hampton, British Brooks, George Pettaway, everybody else that plays. I think it's just a perfect storm to have those games that we've had.
Just real quick to follow up on that, what kind of role have the tight ends kind of played in the running game? I know Freddie Kitchens has made it clear that he wants them to be physical as well. Just what kind of role have they had from a blocking standpoint?
For sure, they've been amazing as well. They've really exceeded expectations, being physical, denting the line of scrimmage, handling guys on their own, making sure they're comboing to the right guy with the offensive lineman. And so their addition to the run game has been critical also to our success.
Andrew?
Hey, Spencer, you're a Minnesota guy.
Yes, I am.
Got the Golden Gophers coming in this weekend. Did you grow up a Minnesota fan? Did you ever go on a visit there or go to any of the camps at the school?
Yeah, so growing up, I wasn't a huge Minnesota Gopher fan. I was more of a Vikings and professional sports fan, and I occasionally would watch the Gophers, but I wasn't any diehard fan. And so coming out of high school, it was just more of a whatever opportunities arose. I was a smaller guy. I was, I think, 235 coming out of high school, so now I wasn't getting a lot of FBS looks. That's kind of why it led me down the path of going to Ivy League FCS. Give me time to develop and grow, but I think I possibly might have went to one of their camps when I was like a sophomore or junior, just to get exposure. But I had no intention of, possibly going to U of M. It just wasn't something that was on the table at the time.
What does it mean to have Minnesota coming in this weekend? Whether you were a big fan or not, a lot of your friends, I'm sure, were, and family, and I'm sure they're paying attention this week. And you're going to be playing against the team they probably root for.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge to represent Minnesota down here in North Carolina. It's one of my prides. Being from Minnesota, and so to have that opportunity to bring my team together and play against the team from Minnesota and hopefully give them a good fight. And it'll be amazing if we can pull out the win on Saturday, which I think we've got a great game plan to do. But they're a tough team. They've got great defense, great offense, so it's going to be definitely a good challenge. But when that time comes, hopefully it'll be a celebration, which I'm looking forward to.
Sounds good, man. Thanks.
Michael?
Hey there, Spencer. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you are the only Minnesotan on Carolina this year, right?
Yes, yeah, I am.
Yeah, so Mac was saying that with South Carolina and App, a lot of the native North Carolinians on the team, they, bring a lot more emotion and juice into it because they know a lot of the guys on South Carolina and App. Do you know a lot of the players on the Gophers, or even just a few? And have you heard from them this week, or is there like a vow of silence during game week?
So being a 6-year guy, I think a majority of the people that I know that have been to U of M have since graduated the past 2 years, and so it's a little bit of weird time frame. But I do know a few guys. We were never really close friends. We were more competitors. For example, Brevin Spanford, they're amazing tight end. We played basketball against each other, and so I was always posting up against him, defending him in the post. So he's a really physical guy, great athlete. Some of their offensive linemen I played with during Minnesota All-Star high school game back in my senior year. So Nathan Bowe, Quinn Carroll. I'm not sure if I did play with him or not, but those are just names that when I was in high school were kind of names that were being thrown out there with offensive line. But I'm not too familiar with any of the defensive linemen, unfortunately.
Thanks, man.
Luciano?
Hey, Spencer. Hope you're doing well, and thanks for your time.
Of
You
course.
just talked about changing that mentality, but how are you feeling specifically so far with all the changes in the coaching staff, particularly with the new offensive coordinator and offensive line coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to get new coaches, new opinions, new techniques in here. And so the fall camp, as well as these first 3 weeks, has been great having both Coach Clem as well as Coach Lindsay, making plays, scheming up our offensive run as well as our pass plays. And I think they've been a huge part of putting our offense in a position to be successful, which I think have been in the past 2 games. So it's really nice to have them here at North Carolina.
Thanks.
Adam?
Spence, if you bring up basketball, I'm going to have to ask you about it. I mean, it's Apple Valley, so,
Yeah.
Were you talking about maybe matching up in some basketball games against Spain Ford, if I'm saying his name right? Tell us about that. I think the dude's like 6'7", right? Like, so
Yep.
What were those games like? And take us inside that.
Yeah. I mean, for a basketball player, I played the center, but being 6'6", I was, still tall, but not, one of the tallest. And so I really leaned myself on being, physical, tough guy, almost bringing that football mentality to basketball. And so we would get any player I would play against, I would, make sure they're not in the post, push them out of the paint, and just be physical, dive for loose balls, get rebounds, box out, and just kind of wear people down. And so, like I said, just kind of bringing that football mentality to basketball was kind of my game plan and technique, playing. And, back in high school, we had a pretty good basketball team. We won 2 state championships, got 2nd place and a 3rd place during my 4 years in high school. So we had some great success, but also played with some great players too, and against great players.
Your job was the dirty work, right? Is that correct? I mean, with some of the...
I love that. I love diving for balls. Love setting, the nasty pick where the defender would bounce off me and open up the point guard. That was the role, and I love doing it. And I think that's what kind of was one of those, glue points to our success for a basketball team.
Thank you, man.
All right, Tommy, let's wrap one last question for Spencer.
Yeah, appreciate it. Spencer, can you talk about your acclimation to North Carolina? Last year, you were an older guy, but a new guy at Carolina. Now you're one of the old guys on a veteran unit, and how you sort of helped a guy like Willie Lampkin coming in, being a transfer, same situation, and then a young guy like Diego Pounds getting some run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, being in my 2nd year here, I've learned the ropes. I know what it takes to start and earn a job, and I think that's both really helped Willie as well as Diego. Diego has, great size, great feet, and he just needed the opportunity. And so come last week when he got the chance, I was really excited for him to get out there, and he played his butt off, and I was excited for him and thrilled to see that happen. And, that all started back not only before fall camp, but, during the winter training, making sure that we're pushing each other during conditioning in the weight room as offense line. And, being in my 2nd year here, it's more of my responsibility being an older guy to set the standard, make sure people are doing what they need to be doing, and setting people up for success. So if somebody has some issue, making adjustments so that they can learn better or, understand the plays more, sitting down with them, talking with them. And so I think that's really helped out Diego. And Willie came in here with a lot of energy. So he was a veteran guy. He's played snaps before. So it was just more of making sure he understood kind of the layout of North Carolina football and how we do things. And he was very quick to pick on and, really step up. You got one more, Adam? Follow up?
I do, if that's okay. Tyler, are you cool with that? I know you last call. Spence, we had heard that just, the coaches and Brian Hess and everybody looked at this spring, well, this winter and this spring and this summer is sort of a big, maybe developmental time for you, even as old as you are, because, when you got here from Harvard, sort of dropping in, parachuting in, did you try to, I don't know, did you try to change your body? Maybe that's not the right way to say it, but how did you try to attack your training? Because it seemed like, the hope was really for you to maybe take your training to another level. Is that right? And how did you try to go about doing that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it all starts with, training in the weight room during the winter time. And so I really focus on, getting stronger. And but with weights, you also have the nutrition part of it. And so just honing in on making sure I was getting the proper nutrition, hitting bumps, maxing out, hitting those numbers. And then come spring ball, stepping up as a leader, because I knew that's something that we needed to have on the offensive line, and kind of add that to our offense. And, there's a lot of potential I saw in our offense, and just making sure that we're reaching that potential. And I think it's one of those, it's just day by day, making sure that each day you're getting better and kind of stacking those days on. And that's kind of what I did during winter, spring ball, through fall camp, and hopefully doing every single day here throughout the season.
Are you a stronger player now than maybe you were at the beginning of last year?
No, I definitely think I'm a stronger player. I think, I picked up where I left off last season, even some more. And so I'm hoping just kind of keep that ball rolling, keep on developing, keep on pushing the weights in the weight room, being stronger, being more stout, being more physical. And so those are all goals I'm trying to achieve each week. And I think, obviously there's always room for improvement, always places to get better, but I feel like I'm doing a lot better than I was, last season during week 3.
Good stuff, buddy. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Spencer.
man.